Marine Guard at the American Embassy, and my job was to ensure that American lives were protected. I can remember being on post outside the gate that we started to hear the rumblings about the North Vietnamese army coming south that had the potential of overflowing down, clearing the Saigon. I started to notice the population of Saigon started to increase. The civilians in the north were headed south because they figured Saigon would be the safe place. The population probably shot up by 100,000 within a week. And then we started hearing explosions towards the north. So we would go up on top of the roof at nights because you could see the bursts going off. The North Vietnamese were closing in. This was starting to get serious. My only concern then was what we were going to do.
But for the people of Saigon, there's one last line of defense: the South Vietnamese Air Force. There is a hope that these fighter jets keep the Communist Army at bay.
Và được chấp nhận trở thành phi công của lực lượng Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Cũng hãnh diện lắm.
One of their top pilots is 27-year-old fighter ace Nguyen Thanh Truong.
Phi công thì nó cũng có hạn lắm, cho nên cũng chẳng sợ ai.
But there's something Truong's been keeping from his superior officers.
Và cái lực lượng kháng chiến trong đó có ba tôi đấy. Và một ngày thì ba tôi bị lọt vào ổ phục kích của địch và ba tôi hy sinh. Và cái sốc lớn nhất trong đời là khi mất người cha, thì chính xác đấy là một cái mối thù mà lớn lên tôi có rất nhiều phải trả.
Truong has been operating undercover for the Viet Cong for several years. He's become one of the elites within the South Vietnamese Air Force and is even filmed receiving training from a U.S. fighter pilot.
Chẳng khi nào tôi lo về cái việc này bị lộ không lộ, là bị phát hiện không phát hiện. Mình phải chuẩn bị cho chu đáo.
On April 8th, 1975, Truong and his fellow pilots are sent on a bombing raid. Truong seizes his opportunity.
Thì hôm đấy là cái hôm mà có cơ hội nhất để mà tôi tách ra khỏi hai cái ông kia. Nhưng thời cơ đã đến rồi. Bây giờ đấy, đi hay là không đi?
I was walking home from the American Embassy, but then all of a sudden you start seeing people looking up and pointing towards the sky. And it was an airplane coming in, it was a jet. Except it was kind of weird because this was a South Vietnamese aircraft. Came over top of me and it dropped a bomb in the path Dallas. People are looking for shelter, trying to get, out of danger.
People still looked at the skies, asking us, is it the communist? Was it a North Vietnamese plane? No, we said, one of your planes. Forces later identified the pilot as Vietnamese Air Force Lieutenant Nguyen Phan Trung. No one knows where he went.
Nói chung là cái cảm giác lúc bây giờ là mình trút đi một cái gánh nặng, một cái gánh nặng mà bao nhiêu năm nay mình ấp ủ mình làm, nghĩ đến cái việc chết của ông già.
After the bombing raid, Trung is welcomed home by the communists as a hero. The North Vietnamese army are now just 3 miles from Saigon.
Probably only a matter of hours before the North Vietnamese walk into town and take over. During the afternoon, the U.S. consulate informed all Americans not working for the government to leave as quickly as possible.
The American government has been surprised by the speed of the North Vietnamese advance. In order to evacuate as many people as possible, they decide to use the warships stationed in the region. Larry Chambers is a newly appointed commander.
At the time, I was commanding officer of USS Midway. I had only been in command in Midway about 29 days when I got this phone call. We were ordered to proceed off the southern tip of Vietnam at best speed to the waterway leading up to Saigon. The helicopters were bringing people out. I had to keep the decks ready so that they could safely land on the carrier. The North Vietnamese tanks were rolling, and so we don't have a lot of time. Man, I'm wondering what the hell's going to happen. Can we make it?
The U.S. Embassy is in danger of being overrun. Fearing possible reprisals from the North Vietnamese army, thousands of civilians are desperate to get inside to safety.
Outside the embassy gates, hundreds of Vietnamese were clamoring to get in, waving their passports and money in hopes they could drive their way onto a helicopter.
Holy shit. That's, believe it or not, that's me. I didn't even know this existed. I saw some things that just, to this day, I can't believe happened. We have rules to go by. If they're American or Vietnamese that has their papers that show they worked for the American government, they're going to go. Those were the rules. I can remember a father putting his hands to the gate and offering a bag of gold to just take his children. And you can't. You can't do it. You give it back and just... Those are, I think, are images
It seemed to me everybody was just running.
Aged just 5, Nan leaves with his mother and father in Saigon. They need a plan to escape.
I remember the father told us to get him a Jeep. My dad was a pilot in the South Vietnamese Air Force. Everyone knew what would happen had my father been captured or my family be captured. We made it to the airport. My father told my mom, I have to take care of something. Get on a plane. I will find you when I'm done. So my dad turned and walked away. But my mom just stood there. She stood there, it seemed like an eternity. We never got on any of those planes. All of a sudden, my dad did return, and he walked up to my mom and basically just asked her, why are you still here? And my mom basically, she said, I didn't want to leave without you. Precise. Because I was standing right next to her and I heard her say, I remember my dad just looking at her. He knew my mom was telling him that she loved him. My dad did return, and he walked up to my mom and basically just asked her, why are you still here? And my mom basically, she said, I didn't want to leave without you. That's really precise. Because I was standing right next to her and I heard her say, remember my dad just looking at her. He knew my mom was telling him that she loved him. And it was going to be all of us or none of us. He turns, he walks away, he lights a cigarette, comes back, and he said, okay, let's go. Off in the distance was an abandoned small plane. It was just parked. And he's like, get in. And we took off.
Meanwhile, South Vietnamese civilians are desperate to get on board the American helicopters. One of the lucky few is Stephanie Diem and her family.
The soldier keeps telling us, keep moving, don't stop, keep moving. At that point, I would just head down and just keep running. The helicopter lift up
You can feel the panic, you can feel the worry. And then I saw the ocean. I knew that we're out. We're gone. We're done. We landed on some sort of warship. And I followed my dad, my mom. And I stood there and I looked and I saw the Vietnam shoreline. Stood there. And I thought, I guess this is a goodbye.
More bitch! It's really heartbreaking to see these folks coming aboard. I mean, there's people everywhere.
Some 7,000 Vietnamese and U.S. nationals have escaped Saigon by helicopter in less than 24 hours. But one family has yet to find a safe haven.
Seemed like